My girlfriend and I dated for 2 years, we broke up a month ago and she wants to make things right, but she told me she kissed 2 guys during our break. My girlfriend and I dated for 2 years, it started off magical and we had a best friend type of relationship, everything was perfect and we had fun together doing anything. I had never felt comfortable enough to settle down with anyone else and I really believed she was the one. Towards the end of our relationship she began to express her feelings out of pure anger and we got into a vicious cycle of her essentially cussing me out and yelling at me. We would go through the cycle of having a good week and then she would snap out of nowhere and essentially tell me I did nothing good for her. She would yell and cuss at me about her problems weekly and expect me to turn around and be comfortable opening up and catering to her needs. It was never just me not caring or neglecting her feelings, it's genuinely just hard to get cussed out by someone and then turn around and try to be nice to them. She would yell at me and then expect me within the next few days to turn around and be romantic, and when I didn't she would yell about the same exact things over and over again. I'm not exaggerating to say this happened every single week and she never gave our relationship the space it needed for good things to happen. It really feels like she self-sabotaged us and then she ended up breaking up with me about a month ago. She reached out to me last week and we've hung out every day since. I would have done anything to make things right before, but yesterday she told me she had kissed 2 guys and went out on multiple dates since we broke up and now I don't know if I can look at her the same. She says that it was a mistake and she wishes she hadn't done it, but this happened twice. She also says being away from me made her realize that all she wants is to focus on our future together and moving forward. I really love her, but after she told me all of this I kind of feel like I've hit a wall on wanting to be with her. What would you guys do? I should also mention I'm the only guy she's ever had sex with. I'm 100% sure she hasn't actually hooked up with anyone since we broke up, but I still look at her differently for kissing a couple guys and going out on multiple dates so quickly. She went out twice a week and got hammered and immediately started posting on Instagram and doing things out of spite when I really don't think she was in the right. All the enjoy and sorrow has its limits, and I am with those who say you shouldn't feel guilty as he himself doesn't try to address his issues. And it's really great that you're still able to recognize that something is wrong and shouldn't be this way, cause sometimes emphatic people get so dragged into the mental issues of their partners that they start losing the understanding of what's actually normal. If he isn't trying to fix himself, all your support is going to waste. It's like trying to fill the bottomless bucket, you'll be just draining yourself. Comment. A leopard doesn't change its spots. She went out with some other dudes, realized that the grass isn't always greener, and now she wants to get back with you. You heard it here first. If you get back together with her, it's only a matter of time until she starts treating you like shit again. The real question you should ask, why is going to be different this time? Did she explain why she leashed out on you and what she has done to avoid the same behavior in the future? She gave you a real explanation of why she really kicked you out? She knew the guys from before? From the info of the post looks like none of the issues that led to the end of the relationship were addressed, and if things worked with one of the guys you wouldn't be here posting. How strange that someone this unhinged, who likely has either mental or emotional problems, would do something as impulsive as kiss other guys when she was perfectly single. You seem to be fixating on what doesn't matter, the kissing, while totally ignoring that she's a loose cannon who's only going to start yelling at you again unless she's been medicated since the breakup. Do try to get your priorities together. If you want a happy life, you can't take her back until she's been assessed and is in treatment for whatever causes her mood swings. Okay, well, besides the toxic behavior and dating right after breaking up, you do not want to be the only person they have ever slept with. Don't do that with anyone, but especially don't do that with what sounds like a very selfish type of personality. If she doesn't cheat, which she will eventually regret not experiencing other dudes and want to open the relationship or end it. Just don't, dude. Let her go do her thing. Meet back up in a year and see if you still want to deal with the mood swings. Next story 2. I feel no longer attracted to my partner of 10+ years. There's so much to say about this, but my partner struggles with mental health issues, possibly borderline or bipolar, and I try to be empathetic about things and look to positives, but I feel like the last couple of years has really soured my relationship with him. Physically, I'm almost repulsed by his appearance. He's let himself go entirely. Hasn't cut his hair or shaved in years. At first I was into it because he actually took care of it, but it's been so long since he's cared for it that his hair is so damaged and breaking off that it looks stringy and gross. His beard is similarly damaged. I have to remind and almost beg him to have basic hygiene, shower and teeth brushing. His friends will tell him how unkempt he looks and that he should shave and cut his hair. Even an old co-worker of his told him he looked better clean shaven in passing just a few weeks ago. He tells me he feels ugly, and he hates himself. And truthfully, he's making himself ugly. He is extremely good looking when he puts in an ounce of effort. He refuses to get a haircut or shave. Sometimes I feel like he's refusing to just despite me. By teasing that he is going to, then telling me it will only make him uglier the next day. Sometimes he tells me he loves his hair or beard and that it's what he likes about himself, and tries to make me compliment them too, even though I've nicely stated I'd like them gone. He becomes irate when I can't say anything, because I don't feel comfortable lying and don't want to be negative and add to his hatred of himself. I feel like I'm walking on eggshells, and even if he's not feeling hurt by me, he's hurt by everyone else who comments on it. And I'm slowly feeling more and more distant from him. Comment. You can't help someone who isn't looking for any help. If you have it in you to stick by and try to help him as much as you can, then good for you. But if it's damaging your own mental health, then you have to make a choice. I'd say to try and be very truthful and honest with him, as that might help him realize what you've outlined in this post. If that doesn't work, then you have to choose if you want to stick by him or not. You shouldn't feel guilty about how you feel. It's normal. Also, you should prioritize your own mental health and happiness as well. Whatever you decide, I wish nothing but the best for both of you. First and foremost, you are completely valid in your feelings. Mental health is such a hard subject in general, but I feel especially so when it comes to relationships and how one's mental health affects the partner. It is normal to feel overwhelmed and frustrated when you watch someone go through what he is, and despite your best efforts you can't help him because he won't help himself. Sometimes, unfortunately, you have to prioritize your happiness and stability. If you need to take a step back from the relationship in order to do that, it's okay. It will hurt like hell. He will be upset. He will want answers and reasons. At the end of the day, it's up to you if you want to be honest with him or if you want to spare his feelings in some way. Personally, I've found honesty to be the most painful but also healthiest option. Ultimately, though, you have to make that choice and stick to it. You are totally valid in staying if you choose. You are totally valid in stepping away even for a short time to repair yourself. There is no right or wrong answer here, only the answer you think will be healthiest for you. I wish you both nothing but the best. What is your partner doing to address his mental health? Has anything changed in recent years that syncs up with him letting himself go? He needs to be proactive about his health. You cannot do that for him. With regard to his basic hygiene, stop begging and start telling him the truth that it is unattractive, it is creating distance, and it is not a good look on him without regular maintenance. As a practical matter, you need to decide if him taking his health and hygiene seriously and proactively will make a difference at this point, or if you are already done. If it's the latter, then begin planning an exit strategy and he can then live however he wants to live. Before you end things, please make it entirely clear to him that you feel this way and that it's at the point you cannot continue like this long term. He may not realize how serious the issue has become if you're always going about it in a nice way. 10 years is a long time. You are an important person to him, and if he is truly struggling and you no longer feel compassionate, you need to at least be very upfront and do not coddle him. If he gets angry, Maybe write a note or a text and talk in person once he's had time to cool down / process. You don't need to say you look like a hot mess, but approach it from the angle of, I am concerned about you, and I want you to be okay and for us to be happy together again, etc. And ask him to make a commitment to see a therapist on a regular basis if he's not already. Maybe offer to do a couples session. Don't let this get to the point of no return without a serious conversation though.